Okay, hello everyone. My name is Proelios. Welcome to the first ever episode of OverAchievers, which is going to be a podcast type thing where I will have conversations with people who have made significant strides in the Overwatch scene, whether it be as professional players, analysts, coaches, content creators, you name it. Before we begin, just a background about myself. I'm Proelios. I'm an Overwatch player from India, and I've been playing the game since December 2017. On ladder, I'm currently high gold on DPS, high plat on support, and mid diamond on tank. I'm also an Overwatch blogger. Uh, I write about the Overwatch League, game balance, and also about people I've met from the community and interviewed. So do check that blog out. I will link it in the description, and I'll also link an older blog where I've written about the Overwatch League in detail in it. So feel free to check those out and sub to my new blog. So in today's episode, we have got uh, Nightmare 2k and Archangel. They are Overwatch players from India. And can you guys just introduce yourselves, Nightmare?
I think Archangel should introduce himself.
Okay,
Wow, wow.
go ahead.
Like all
You should
of
go
like
ahead.
all of a sudden it will be me who will be starting, right? So hi guys,
Always.
my name is Nishant Archangel Chavla, and I'm a former World Cup player, and I'm a former off-tank player of Team India World Cup team. Um, and yeah, I think that's about it.
Nightmare?
I think okay. Hi guys, my name is Vatsalonia and my in-game name is Nightmare. Uh, I represented India in this World Cup as a main tank, and also I've been in Orisa jail from the past 1 year, and it's sad.
You said main tank in the World Cup. I think that's good enough to see you in Orisa jail.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
double shield.
try to play Orisa whole day and let me know how bad it feels.
Yeah. Anyway, so this this episode is going to be about the new tank changes that have been added to the PTR, and they will be probably added to the game sometime this week.
Mm.
So before we move on to discussing the PTR patch, though, I want to ask you guys, how is the current state of tanks on the live servers?
Well, current state of tanks is all about like double shields, but it but there will be always be Pepega people who will be playing ball and into double tanks and May, which you know induces tiltness between
Definitely.
frustration and tiltness in between the team. Second of all, like there's another god in the game, a hero called Doomfist, which requires so much of skill. He just punches you out of nowhere. And yeah, I mean, people love shooting shields. Like we just open the game, go into training range or competitive because it doesn't matter. You just open the game and we just shoot the shields and we feel happy.
Yeah,
So current
lol.
state
Yeah.
of for the tanks, I think it's still fine. I believe for the off tanks it's still fine because Sigma is like kind of a fun hero to play
Hmm.
as compared to Orisa. Orisa is just a playmaker, you can say. Like like the team fights and the you can say and the team fights and the rotations calls from the Orisa should be like on point.
Hmm.
And you can say Orisa is basically the main playmaker over here. It's not neither even Doom nor May nor Sigma. It starts with Orisa. So
I
double shield.
think it's both Orisa and Doomfist, not just Orisa.
Hmm.
Because it like a lot of things actually matter when it comes to pull punch combo, and this I mean, yeah, Orisa is like one of the main factors because of the pull and the halt and the shield.
Hmm.
But in the upcoming patch, the shield is getting nerfed, the shift is getting nerfed for both Sigma and uh, Orisa.
Yeah.
And I guess Doom's punch is also getting nerfed. I mean the charge punch charge. I guess if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it got nerfed from 1 second to 1.4 seconds. Like it's already live on the current patch, so the tank changes will be coming this week, I think. But
I mean, it was just. I mean, the shield. It's just too much. Like in the live path.
yeah, and so we have also seen this on ladder. Like all of us know this. People just don't want to play tank right now. Everyone just like
Yeah. I
the
mean,
queue
it's.
times are all over the place. So why is that? Why is tank not a very preferred role right now in the community?
I mean, people actually like back then it was just goats, and to be very honest, it was actually really fun, like playing goats. I would still playing double shield
Mm-hmm.
because the same hero again and again, it keeps getting boring. Even in competitive, like you cannot say, the environment in the team and environment in the competitive is like that. They're two different things. Like in team, you can actually coordinate your pull punches, your supports, everything. Like in
Mm-hmm.
competitive, you cannot keep on going, all the micromanaging small things. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
some people do, and it works out. But sometimes, you're this guy is not in voice, that guy is not in voice. How competitive ladder is. I mean, above, all the ladder players like above 4.2, 4.3 ish.
Yeah, and
They
it's
do
yeah.
communicate. I mean, the communication is like a lot in those ranks, but there are a few games where they don't want to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
and that's irritating. I mean, it's not irritating, but it's not fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and as the tank, you're kind of just leading the charge for the team, and it's like really annoying when people just don't follow up on your calls, right? I guess that's what you're
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, DPS play, like the people who finds DPS games, they should realize that they get games after like 10 minutes, and then they just do like silly mistakes and they don't even listen, and then like we eventually lose the games because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I feel is like in any FPS game, if you lose your calm in between the game, I don't think so you can focus inside the game at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I guess still, all these things actually really doesn't matter because it's always go again.
Yeah, you just have to believe in yourself and just go again. That's actually right.
Yeah. Um, so I think we can start talking about the PTR changes right now, and
Sure.
the first one that stands out is the armor change. So during Goats, since Goats was too strong, Blizzard essentially nerfed the damage reduction value of armor from 5 to 3, but now they have reverted that change. So how big of an impact do you guys think that's
I
going to
mean,
have?
I mean, like Orisa is still strong, but the shield is dead. The shield won't be enough. I mean, like I've seen a lot of videos where the shield just dies, like you know. But they have given, I think, 50 extra armor to the health of the Orisa.
Yeah.
That's is good, but again, I just don't personally like double shield meta.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should. Uh, I'm not sure if it will, remove the double shield meta, but I really want Reinhardt to come back. You know,
Yeah.
beat whatever Reinhardt or Lisa. I, there should be some change like with the meta.
But just with like simply with respect to the armor, do you think the armor change is like a good thing for the game or a bad thing right now?
Like what they are exactly trying to do is they're basically killing the shield and giving tanks more armor so that they can sustain.
They can survive more. Yeah, exactly.
They can survive more. So eventually, like what Nightmare said, Reinhardt will be back in meta anyways because of the new changes. Like, have you seen how fast he moves
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
speed boost buff? I
Yeah.
mean, he can with the speed boost, he can actually compete with soldiers sprint.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine how fast he can move.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, by buffing the like by giving armor, it's like they are making like it's like they're killing the shield and making tanks more what do you
More
call him
sustained, more
more
sustainable.
sustainable so that they don't die like an idiot every time.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I mean, they had to do something about killing the shield, and they did it.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Because like even like if they're not gonna like that's what I think. If they're not gonna like do the changes, right? The teams that who have mastered the count, they're just gonna keep winning, and it's gonna be same again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like USA, and it's a perfect example. I mean, they're at this moment in double shield meta. No one can beat them.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Okay, I think we can move on to the next change. Alright, so let's talk about the big one. So that's Orisa, and like you guys mentioned before, her barrier has been nerfed, but things like her fortify and her speed while shooting, they have been improved. And also she has been given extra armor. So
Yeah.
where does that place her? Like, is she stronger? Is she weaker? What do you guys think?
I mean, if you say with the meta, it like with the meta, the shield part goes down, but the sustainability of the hero goes up. With the
Mm-hmm.
armor change, with the movement while shooting, but again, it's a team game, right? So it's all on meta, and I think with the shield going down, the hero has I, that's what I think. I mean, the importance will go down, like
Mm-hmm.
of the hero.
Okay, so you think she's going to be picked a little bit less, maybe?
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, depends
Mm-hmm.
because the sustainability goes up, the shield goes down, and at the moment, uh, what else can be the meta? Like, I don't think. I mean, she still like people will still play it, but I don't
Yeah.
think she will be, as like so in the meta, the comps. So Orisa is a must pick.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't pick Orisa, show loss, things like that. But I think that will be reduced. People will start playing, more and more heroes, more and more main tanks than, just insta locking Orisa.
Okay. Archangel, any thoughts?
I think like we are still very uncertain about what will be the meta.
Mm-hmm.
But what I feel is maybe like coming back to Odisha, maybe people will play double shield, but it will all depend on the map. You can say
Right.
like what map is going. Like there are certain map where dive can be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like as been discussed, like as been shown in the patch notes about what the diva buffs, like what diva like is getting buffs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Odisha is still viable in the comp,
Mm-hmm.
and we just have to wait and watch what the what the pros or the maybe like scrims like
Mm-hmm.
offers us. Like we just have to wait. But Odisha, yeah, like if I tell you honestly, like Odisha is still viable right now.
Okay. I guess we can move on to the off tank that she's currently paired with in a second. Alright, so as of like right now, which is the double barrier meta, Sigma is the go-to off tank in Overwatch. So he also is getting nerfed with respect to his barrier health, but his
Yeah.
kinetic grasp is getting buffed. He has like 3 seconds less of a cooldown, and he generates more shields from it. So do you guys think he is still going to be like the go-to pick with Orisa, or like will there be scope to play maybe Deva and Roadhog along with her as well?
I think there will be. I think Sigma's meta is kind of over now because looking at the Orisa's buff and the Roadhog buff, you can say I believe Diva Matrix is better than Sigma's Shift right now,
Okay,
and the mobility that Diva offers, Sigma doesn't offer.
right.
And plus, I mean, Matrix is much faster than Sigma's Shift, and the regeneration of Diva's Matrix is still better. So I think more we'll see more of Diva than Sigma. I don't think so. Sigma will come back in this particular meta now. That's what I
Interesting.
feel.
Interesting. Uh, Nightmare.
I have. I don't know. I mean, about Sigma, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like, I personally like, Deva is more of, playmaker hero. Sigma is as well, but Deva is,
Yeah, she's more of
much
like
better
a
than.
defensive playmaker.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so essentially Sigma currently odd spot. We can't really say what's going to happen to him, but there is a chance that we might see him just completely fall out of the meta. That's what you're essentially summing up, right? Okay. I think let's move on to the next hero. Alright, so before this monster of a tank called Sigma was brought into the game, we saw Orisa Hog being the meta for a
Oh
couple of months.
yeah.
So Roadog isn't getting any changes with this, but since barriers are weaker and he's actually known for his barrier break,
I mean,
is he going to be much stronger?
actually, you can play Orisa Roadog because at the point people can even pull out a pull combo even with the like
Yeah.
against the Diva,
Yep.
and yeah, it's very much possible people can actually play Roadhog. I mean, even with the Sigma, like I've like a lot of times I've done with DJ and with Archangel as well.
Yeah, your
Like we are
volume's a
able
little
to.
bit low. Can you?
Hello.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like with Archangel and DJ, we have all pulled out like even against Sigma and Orisa, we have pulled out full hook combos.
Mm-hmm.
So getting the nerf, like the shields getting nerfed. I mean, I think Roadhog can be viable pick.
Okay.
It's very much possible.
I mean, and make sure you remember that Roadog's ammunition has been increased from 5 to 6.
Yeah.
So he can break shield more faster with the shield nerf. He can break shield more faster than anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
So, so yeah, Orisa and Hog is still viable.
All right. Okay. And I think now we can actually talk about Diva because she is like kind of the third off tank that can be paired viably with Orisa. So with the barriers nerfed, I guess like a few things happen with her. Firstly, her matrix cooldown has been reduced by half a second, so she has it available more often. And with barriers nerfed, like for example, it's easier for her to land diva bombs and stuff like that. So do you think she's going to be like mega strong in this patch?
What I feel is it wasn't about the Diva bombs at all. It was only because of Diva helps to mitigate a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, of course, that's a point that with the like what do you call it? With the shield nerf,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it will be like easy to land Diva bombs like in a good play making situations, but which can also be avoided by taking a Zarya with a Reinhardt, to be honest.
True.
And what I feel is Zarya Reinhardt will be overcoming Diva and Orisa a lot.
Okay.
That's what I feel.
Okay. So you,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
go on.
mean, I will agree. Like, it was never about the bomb. I mean, what I personally feel is that usage of matrix is like super important for
Yeah.
a diva player,
Mm-hmm.
and absorbing the right, like there are a few moments where that player, yeah, need to see like the exact moment where the damage comes from, right, where the
Yeah.
when the damage is coming. So
Mm-hmm.
so there are a lot of diva players who randomly uses matrix, and but yeah, I think it's all about make matrix. Like in goats, you'll see how much a good matrix can make a, yeah, big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like eating a grab, it's mm, it's it's never been about the bomb for a diva. I
Yeah.
mean, even the positioning, you can zone, you can control the high grounds, pressure, anything you can do with
Mm-hmm.
the diva.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, bombs are just like one aspect of Deva, which would be kind of a little bit easier, but of course, like Matrix is her key ability by far. So, yeah, we'll I guess see her absorb more cooldowns or ultimates in this new meta which we get. Okay, that was interesting. Let's move on. Alright, let's talk about Winston. Because he's not getting any change in this patch, but like last patch's barrier was buffed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he will benefit from I mean he kind of wins and loses because of the armor change, because he gets tankier but he also deals lesser damage to armor with his Tesla cannon. So do you think he's overall getting stronger or weaker in this patch?
I mean, I'm not sure about Winston that people still play Winston because Reaper and Doomfist. Like you just cannot.
Yeah,
There's no chance.
no chance.
I don't think that it will actually make a big difference in the upcoming patch.
He's going to remain dead.
Yeah, I guess probably.
Okay. Archangel?
What I feel is, like I've been playing couple of skins right now, and people are actually playing Winston and Ball a lot because breaking Winston bubble is kind of tough now. It actually requires a lot of people to hit it, and then you can do something. But to be very honest, I mean, what I feel is if Winston jumps into like a Diva and an Orisa, Winston will obviously get deleted.
Right.
There's no chance that Winston can actually, get out of it with some changes. Even with the Sigma, also, if you take like Ball and Orisa against Sigma and Orisa, always the double shield like overpowers Ball and Winston. So I feel like there will be like couple of things like Winston will be played in like certain maps where the high ground control is an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but probably like I still feel like Diva actually counters Winston a lot. So
Div-
let's see what
okay.
happens.
Okay. Interesting. Let's move on. Alright. Another hero that you just mentioned, Archangel, that's Wrecking Ball. And he is also not getting directly changed in this patch, but he is getting his armor buffed, which means he gets a whole lot tankier.
Yeah,
So, is this a big enough buff to kind of see his pick rate rise more than what it used to be?
I mean it's they have already nerfed and buffed Ball a lot. Like they have already made like so much of changes on Ball. I think it's kind of balanced now. Like, and people actually know how to counter a Ball. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm damn sure like they know in high SR, but in low SR, like who cares? So, like what I
And
feel is, yeah,
it's Fast and the Furious.
yeah, exactly.
So, Nightmare, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you're the main tank.
I mean, Ball. I mean, yeah, that's like if you see like the MMR and scrims and official matches, they are like totally different. You cannot just go in with Ball randomly, do whatever you want to do, go slam, and
Mm-hmm.
playing
Basically,
Ball
you get punished.
against exactly. And as Archangel said, Ball and Monkey is a thing, but you should be super coordinated for that. Your team needs to be super coordinated for that.
Right.
And some peoples do pull off that thing and some don't, but against a good team it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
It can work, but it depends. It just depends individual to individual.
Right. So, you think like maybe if you see some Wrecking Ball players like A Monk, for example, from Chengdu Hunters, you think they will still be playing Wrecking Ball a whole lot compared to the other main tanks?
I mean, at their level, they're not gonna play that because
Oh.
everyone is equally skilled in their level, and It's always the mirror versus mirror. It's like 1% or 10 or 20% chances where they play something else. But obviously, at the that the official matches, it's always mirror versus mirror, or there would be some picks in the DPS side that they will swap. But
Hmm.
I don't think ball and all would be picked in that
Right.
level, not ranked level.
Okay. 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 So another like big beneficiary of this patch is Reinhardt, and he has got obviously becomes tankier with the armor buffs. His
Yeah.
steadfast has been buffed from 30 to 50% of CC resistance, and he also has a 25% less penalty when he walks with his barrier up.
Yeah,
That's massive according to me. And
it's
yeah,
massive.
how
Yeah,
big is it?
it is very big, but again, it depends who you wanna, like who do you want Reinhardt to be with? I think Reinhardt Orisa, but I saw a few couple of teams playing Reinhardt Orisa like
Mm-hmm.
before the patch and even after the patch. So you see that control center map, Nepal. I think no, not Nepal, Lijiang Tower.
Lijiang, yeah, Lijiang.
Yeah, people have started playing Reinhardt Orisa in that map.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's gives more. It's more tanky-ish,
yeah.
most. But I'm not sure. You never know. Anything can happen. It's a really big thing for a Reinhardt. But let's see.
I'm sure at least you'll be excited to play him more
Oh,
on
for
ladder and
sure, for
stuff.
sure. Yeah, I just love playing Reinhardt. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
Archangel.
It's been a long time I haven't touched Zarya, so yeah, obviously, like I would love to play with Reinhard Zarya though.
Yeah, yeah. We will talk about her in just a sec. But do you think like so we have seen Orisa Ryan like you said in the EU pugs which are going on like these days, but
Yeah.
it's it's like we haven't seen just Ryan Zarya being played for a while. We just saw them in triple tank and goats and stuff like that. So I just want to ask a rough question. What in general makes Reinhardt so weak in just a Ryan Zarya pairing at the pro level?
Like earlier, right? Like before what happened, right? With the Reinhardt, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I feel is like Reinhardt was way too much slow. Like before it reaches like to the point, or you can say to their tanks to brawl,
Mm-hmm.
his shield is down and he has already taken so much of damage.
Right.
So people will be spending so much of resources into Reinhardt, and at the end of the day, you won't even get to hit anyone because you'll die before that.
yeah,
So that was the major problem. So that's why, and plus, and moreover, stun, bash, boops. It used to annoy Reinhardt a lot. So Reinhardt a lot. It actually, displaces him from a good position to a very bad positioning.
Mm-hmm.
So by giving him a what was a passive steadfast, right?
Steadfast, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, steadfast. Like it actually improves the situation of Reina. Now you know what? Like I was watching this video. So in Lijiang Tower Garden, you actually can't boop a Reinhardt on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bridge.
yeah.
You can't
I
even
mean, it
boop him.
just gives that that Reinhardt, the real Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't imagine such a hulking figure actually being just CC'd like that. Finally, he's got like a realistic level of
Yeah,
resistance.
I mean, in goats, Reinhardt getting pooped, Reinhardt getting bashed, here and there going. And when they want to play, the monkey dive, monkey goats,
Yeah.
Reinhardt getting moved by monkey again and again.
Yikes. Not a good thing.
Not really.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next tank, which is Zarya. And Zarya has got buffs to her alternate fire. So she now consumes only 20 ammo when she fires the right click. And its radius has also been increased. I think it's just been reverted to what it was during, like, before goats. So like during GOATs they had nerfed the splash radius, but now they have buffed it back to where it was. So
Yeah.
this is an indirect DPS buff to her, and I I believe personally she's going to be a good bit stronger. But what are your guys' thoughts on her changes?
Well, what I feel is like as there's the obviously nerf on the shields. I don't think so. It's a big change though. Like it's not a huge change that Zarya should be a must pick in every comp. It's just like a slight buff, which is you can say you can ignore it,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, but I don't think so. It's a big buff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not. It's nothing like compared to other things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's just going to be like regular Zarya. If you're great on her, you're great on her. Otherwise, you're better off picking another off tank.
Maybe it all depends on what the comps are. Like if you're playing with the Reinhard, like how you wanna play and all that stuff. Like it all depends on what comps and what map you can say. So, but yeah, like in certain map like Kings Row and all, where like Zarya has good high ground control and he can charge grass much faster. Maybe yeah,
Okay.
Then Zarya will be picked.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now I think we have spoken about all of the tanks one by one. So, where do you like? What do you guys think the tank meta will be like? Just pure speculation because we don't have a hard set meta yet. But who do you think is going to be? Let's say the top tank duo that you're going to see.
I feel Orisa Diva maybe or Ryan Zarya. That or Orisa Diva or Ryan Zarya or Winston Diva.
Rhinorisa.
Rhinories.
Yeah, this-
Yeah, the pugs comp,
Yeah.
as I'm calling it nowadays. Yeah,
mm,
it's actually kind of crazy because like Ryan can. I mean, people are making this comment right that um, with these barrier nerfs, essentially Blizzard is thinning the line between main tank and off tank.
mm,
So essentially, you'll have an Orisa using Fortify as a primary engagement tool, and then using her barrier almost kind of like a defense matrix, just for a couple of seconds to get her Fortify back.
yeah.
So how do you like? Do you guys think it's going to be less of I play main tank and I play off tank too? These are the tanks I play, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
This is always a problem in the like. There's always a problem. Like these kind of problems are always in competitive, bro. Like it's not in like a professional scene. So I don't think so. It will be a problem in a professional scene if we see.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think there's going to be like, let's say, double off tank compositions run and stuff like that?
No, there's never a double off tank composition ever. There's
Yeah.
always be one or the other shield coming around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. There will be one shield.
Okay.
It's always.
Or unless you're playing ball and diva, in which case you still have a main tank in ball, but it's kind of you can still make that work, but it's just going to be harder, like these guys said earlier. But and I think like this is an important question to ask as just like being part of the player base.
Mhm.
Is this patch going to encourage more people to play tanks? Because that's what we really lack, right? Enthusiasm to play tank. We have people lining up to play DPS because you can make all these flashy plays and be mega impactful and clutch, or people line up to play support because you can really enable your team extremely well. But on tank, you're just kind of getting bullied by all these other meta heroes like Doomfist, May Reaper, who are just walking over you all the time. So does this patch make tanks more resistant to that kind of abuse and encourage will it encourage more players to pick them?
What do you say, Vatsal, about this?
Mm, I mean, I'm actually not sure about it, but it's Overwatch. Anything can happen. You never know. I mean, yes, obviously, like there should be changes, like every 6 months or every 5 months. That's what I feel. Yeah, I mean, the same meta, the same comp, like Goats has been there for like a solid amount of time, and people start getting both. Same with the double shield.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard needs to do, needs to bring at least what I personally feel 6 months should be, 6 to 7 months max. One meta should go.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it keeps going the same thing again and again, it's just it keeps getting
Gets
it's
stale.
Boring,
bad. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
monotonous. Exactly.
I actually remember like watching when Roadog was first implemented. I was watching stage 4 of the Overwatch League, and oh hi, Violet's joining us. Um, so I was watching stage 4 of the Overwatch League, and I saw Carpe pull out Reaper, and I'm like, oh damn, this is like something entirely new, and I'm gonna really enjoy this meta. And like 2 weeks later, I'm like, please change this, Blizzard. I can't take
I
it anymore.
mean, exactly. I mean, if you see like 2-2 roll lock is actually good, if you're spectating the game.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing the game, 2-2, it's been a lot of times I have a DPS player who's a main support.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, ladders always, based on Blizzard's design philosophy, I guess ladders always going to be way different from how the competitive, like the pro scene goes on, right?
Yeah.
So I guess
But
yeah.
you need, I think, like, like you said, right? How will, it will, the 2-2 has effect, a lot of it effects, like for the new player base.
Mm-hmm.
2-2, people start playing the game, and you get players. The same thing I said. I have players in my team who are playing tanks, who are healer main. I have an off tank who plays Doomfist only and is playing Deva and is playing Sigma. I have a healer who's an DPS main or a tank main playing healer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, for me, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. So,
But
so
like,
yeah.
it's a 50-50. It's good, but it has drawbacks as well.
Okay. So you're
You
saying
can't.
it's less about Blizzard making tanks more fun and more about people just trying to get better at that role.
I don't know. I personally don't really like the 2-2 system. It's
Uh,
good for for being for the competitive players, but for the newcomers and all, I don't think
They
it's
are not able
really
to
good.
experience the game fully.
mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they just wanted to make game fair enough to everyone, and
I mean, but it's like if you get a like the same thing I said, right? If you get a DPS player who's a main tank, it's not fair for others, right? Where the
yeah,
opponents have a DPS player who plays DPS. That's a disadvantage for your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's actually wrong.
Mm. And the SR system kind of messed things up. Like you guys remember they just put GM players and GM on all roles. Like remember XQC being placed on GM on DPS, and he's like, no, I'm not GM on
yeah.
DPS. So
I mean,
yeah.
I've been in this scenario where I have a 4.5k support player who is playing 4.3k DPS.
Uh, yeah, and on in those ranks especially, that's like a big difference.
Yeah,
4.3k and 4.5k, huge difference in skill.
so it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing my part, guys. You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
That is bad.
Archangel, what do you think? More players play tank in the new meta?
I'm sorry.
Do you think more players opt into playing tank in the new meta?
Mm, I think people will more switch towards DPS. The old tank players will play tank only because they know that
Yeah.
it's kind of buff to the tanks, but the new players will eventually turn up to play DPS rather than tank. That's what I feel.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's the same old problem of people just not understanding the tank role.
Yeah.
It's like
And I feel like there should be more of DPS players than of tanks. Like people, if you see, there are more of tank players right now than DPS and support. So I feel like more DPS player will induce the game more. People need to explore the game with DPSs. So yeah, I feel like um DPS, like it will promote DPSs. That's what I feel. But the old players will play tanks. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's always been like that. More and more new players are, always, attracted to that TPS.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Okay. So I think that's all the questions I had about this meta. I mean, I know you guys also haven't had a ton of time to check the changes and test them out in pugs and stuff. By the way,
Mm.
guys, these Archangel and NGHTMRE2k have their own professional lives as well, so don't judge them for not grinding the PTR. But they have still they have seen the changes, studied them carefully.
Yeah,
Like you said, uh, they've watched the pugs, EU pugs, which have been played. So yeah,
Yeah, I know. I've been following that Taimu, Dragon Eddie, and all. These guys have been playing pugs. I know.
yeah. So yeah, this is just like all speculation. That, like we might be entirely wrong about what's going to happen, but you never know what the meta is until we've actually seen it played in some serious tournaments like contenders. I think contenders is the lowest level at which you start seeing solid metas.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say the top level of open division as well, but I think contenders is where it really solidifies. So until and unless we see this patch being played at that level, I don't think we can really say that there's going to be this set
yeah,
meta in the
exactly.
game.
Yeah,
So
Yep.
I think this was still a fun experience. I mean, I think it was just all of our first kind of podcast thing that we've done.
Yep. Yep.
So our thoughts were a little bit all over the place, but I think if we do more of these in the future, we will get better at it, and there will be more topics to talk about for sure. I mean, the content in Overwatch is stale, but I think we still have plenty to talk about over the weeks to come.
Well, yep.
I think you should do one for goats versus goats.
Goats versus goats, and what do you think we should do in that?
Talk about how good the comp was.
So it have kind of like a debate. So like one team supports goats and the other one just bashes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could have something like that. I'm sure the biggest advocate from your side will be Soul Hunter. He was literally like he was crying when I was like talking to him. He's like, dude, just I cannot do anything in double barrier. Just let me boop Reinhard around in goats once more. So yeah, we can do something like that for sure. And yeah, anyway, I think we can end it for now. It's close to midnight here, guys.
Yep.
So thank you, Nightman and Archangel, for spending your valuable time, as they say, to chief
Well,
guests.
thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
us
so
in
much.
the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, we actually tried to get DJ Resni in what's wrong with my English in as well, but he's currently still in LA. He stayed back after the World Cup for a few days, so we weren't able to sync up the time with him properly. But you can be sure he'll be part of some or the other podcast in the future. So anyway, I think we can end it over there. If you guys have any feedback, do share it in the comments below. Visit my blog. I will link it in the description. I will also link these guys' social medias in the description so you guys can follow them. And I guess thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, comment, whatever a YouTuber says, because I'm apparently a YouTuber now. So
Woohoo!
yeah, I guess
Woo!
I need money, guys. I'm poor. I'm kidding. This is gonna be fun though. I think I'm gonna enjoy doing more episodes of OverAchievers. So anyway, thank you for listening. I'm gonna end it like while the flow is good. Bye bye.